What's up, babes? I just want to talk real quick. I'm gonna try to make it as quick as possible, but it's just been so many crazy things going on around me, and it make me want to get up here and talk about what I talk about. Quite frankly, what I represent, and everything else like that, which is what self-love, body love, and how important that is. I had a friend of mine who had her knee broken, by her partner, and this was just such a big deal to me because honestly, I've been hearing a lot of little things like this around me. Even a family member of mine and their relationship. So I just want to talk about what toxic um, toxic relationships and people, the trauma that we go through, unhealed trauma, and how that shit literally just runs in circles. It literally just runs in circles. And until you reach a point where you are loving yourself, and I mean that. I mean exactly the fuck how it's said, and I don't want to get aggressive. Just the whole situation is just mind blowing to me, but it just again makes me acknowledge how serious it is. Like how many obstacles and things we will run into until we acknowledge ourselves, until we learn ourselves, until we love ourselves the way we need to, until we can really take note of our traumas. What on my old fucking Instagram before that was taken down, a post that was on my page, and I will be reposting it, hell, probably today, is how are how are you healing from your childhood traumas, as a first date questions. I mean, that's such a serious fucking question, you guys. It's so fucking serious. It's so fucking serious because unhealed traumas just become new traumas. Unhealed old past traumas that we refuse to acknowledge and realize that is a problem in our life, that is something that is affecting us and how we're reacting to situations. Well, and quite what how we're reacting to situations and not responding to situations is due to past traumas. It's due to us growing up. A lot of when it comes to what abusive relationships, when it comes to abusive relationships, whether physically, mentally, verbally, whatever, it usually is a cycle that started when people were children. They grew up in an abusive household where their parent was talking to them in a kind of way, where they were having to deal with maybe siblings, just a multitude of things that were happening. They were maybe being touched by people in their household, even if it wasn't a direct family. Maybe it was a friend that their parents or somebody were always having over. These things start early and they have to be acknowledged. I was talking to a family member and he was saying to me, because I was telling him that he needed to be writing down all these things that were hurting him so he could read it over and write the opposite of it. And write the new version of what he was trying to create. And I like got these chills going all through my body because this is just such a serious topic. This is just such a serious conversation. But I was talking to him, telling him how he needs to be writing down these things and these scenarios excuse me, that hurt him, so he could again just write the opposite of it. Write what he wants, what he's looking for, what he's headed towards, right? And what he said to me was, he always thought about writing as a bad thing. He never really, he just wanted to move on from things. He wanted to act like it didn't happen because he assumed that like sitting in it too long or writing about it, journaling about it, whatever, meditating around it is a way of making yourself hurt longer. Is a way of making yourself like sitting in the pain longer. You know what I mean? And I get that dynamic. I get why you would think that, but I want to say why that's not true. How honestly it does the complete, like doing, running away from our traumas, from the things that hurt us, and not acknowledging them, not sitting with them, not spending the time with them that we need to, so we can actually heal, isn't healing us. It isn't healing us. It's hurting us even more. When we get scars, when we get wounds, when we get bruises. When I'm telling you about this broken knee, this is bed rest. She's on bed rest for 6 fucking weeks. Your knee has to heal, so we have to actually acknowledge the fact that the knee is broken. What the fuck is broken in it? Go get the surgery done around it, fix it, and then allow it to heal. Realize that it's hurt, so you can realize that you need to heal, so you can take the steps you need to do to actually heal it. That goes for our emotional traumas also. That goes for our emotional traumas also, because when we're just avoiding it, acting like, we were never hurt and broken, that these things were never done, we are never dealing with it. We are never realizing that these are things that we don't want anymore, and that it's up to us not to have them anymore, and so to walk away from them, to stay away from them. So when it comes to what partnerships, relationships that hold such toxicness, it comes from people who have not dealt with past things. Because even when I'm speaking with her, we're getting into how apparently her and her dad have a bad relationship, and how he talks to her any old kind of way. And her and the person who is the reason her knee is broken, apparently they're still together. Apparently this is not the first time something like this has happened. But the reason you accept these things and you don't move away from them, and you create all kind of excuses in your head for why you're still there, is because of these past traumas. Your father, who when you grew up was talking to you in your kind of way and treating you in your kind of way, and so this has gotten so deeply embedded into what your self-acknowledgement, your self-worth, and at this point it's extremely low. That's why I talk about self-love so much, body love so much. I mean, and when I get into body love, I talk about us loving our real bodies, not the fake versions, not the edited versions of our pictures and shit like that, not me without my cellulite or my tummy, but me completely with it. Me completely with it, because the more we start to really truly love every aspect, flawed and all, of our physical, the more it becomes more logical in our heads to begin thinking of loving ourselves mentally and spiritually, flawed and all. You know? So it's a whole process. It's all intertwined. You cannot do one without the other. And how you are feeling about yourself will show up in every single version of your life. In every single tone of your life, it will show up how you're feeling about yourself. And you will not get to a place of true, unaltering happiness until you have sat with you and learned yourself and loved yourself and forgiving yourself over and over and over again. I have where's that? Right here. Note on my wall. I am forgiving myself over and over again. I keep all of these things up, so I'm constantly reading them and seeing them in the midst of the multiple times, because it's always going to be like that. The times where you're questioning yourself and you're doubtful and you're scared and you're fearful and you're going through all these things. We're constantly growing, we're constantly evolving, so it's always something going on. But we want to be in a mental place where we are learning the best way to handle it and move through it, so we can truly get to the best version of ourselves at the end of the day. So I just really wanted to talk around just self-love today, just because again it will show up in every aspect of your life how you're feeling about yourself. You won't be satisfied anywhere until you're satisfied with yourself. So the family member I'm talking to, the relationship that they are settling for, and it's not even just their partnership, it's their work life, it's their work life, it's their financial life, it's literally everything that they feel so unsatisfied in, and that they have no idea what they want to do in. And that is because we really have to take that time out to sit with ourselves, to learn ourselves, to acknowledge ourselves the way we need to, the way we need to, in and out. That's why I talk about body love, self-love, internal and external. I talk about more the spiritual aspect and the intellectual aspect. I talk about the sexual aspect. All of these things are literally one and the same, and they will, like I keep saying, they will keep showing up. They will keep showing up until you give them the acknowledgement they deserve. So when it comes to these toxic relationships, where you're settling for things and you're accepting things that you shouldn't be, and you keep finding yourself making fucking excuses on why you're there, or why you're with that person, or why you're doing this, or why you're doing that, this shit is literally just a circle right back around to what you are feeling about you. And at the end of the day, what you're going to have to do is step back and sit with yourself. Like I said, I was telling him, write it down. Write down what's been hurting you, what you're scared of, what you're questioning yourself about. What do you want to do, but what have you stopped doing? Because you feel like maybe it's something you shouldn't be doing, or somebody told you that they didn't approve of you doing it. Just it's a multitude of things that are affecting you inside, that are showing up everywhere outside. And it's only one way to switch that around and change that, and that's going to be with you. What one of my favorite J. Cole lyrics. The only real revolution happens right inside of you. I mean, just literally just wraps it right the fuck up. So that's just what I wanted to talk about real quick. I guess I will try to wrap it up there and won't get to really running my mouth too much. But again, our self-love, our body love is so deep and so serious, and it will show up in every single place in our life, until we decide to acknowledge who the fuck we are and what we are doing and how things don't match up. Until we can accept it, look it straight in the eye, and see what the fuck is going on. I mean, it's literally seriously all about us. It's all about us, and it will show up everywhere. You can, get injured and be in these abusive relationships, but the moment you acknowledge your worth, and that even when you're fucked up, you're still worthy, you realize, fuck this person. I'm way past this. I'm way beyond this. I deserve way more than this, and I know that I will have it. Like, the only reason I don't have it is because I'm here with this foolishness. So, I guess that's where I'll wrap it up at. Let's work on ourselves. Let's be journaling, meditating, really spending time with ourselves, doing some dancing, listening to some good music, getting into ourselves, and again, forgiving ourselves over and over again, even when we feel like we're fucking up, realizing that this is our process. We are headed to the best version of us, so I'm not here to fetal position it out and cry and victimize myself about the shit that's happening. I know that this is going on and that I'm in control. And so if I want to see something change, then I have to change. Just that simple. So that's it, you guys. I'll talk to you all soon. Just been so much craziness, so much going on, so much emotional things going on. So much going on. Sit with yourself, sit with yourselves. You're the most important thing out here, quite frankly. I'll talk to y'all soon.